Well, you can take me through everyone through what it's like setting up a an expedition.
Of course. Well, first of all, we will handle what happened to our last
You must
expedition.
remember the world as it was, if you hope to save it.
So we have some candles because we died. What do we want?
Who died? Did you lose the legendary Dr. Duckmore?
No, Dr. Duckmore's still around. We've still got Dr. Duckmore. In fact, I think we're going to try and do Act 3 again rather than going on to Act 4, just because I think I want to unlock more things for our heroes before we decide to kind of go into a more difficult scenario. I don't think we won Act 3, like, fairly. I think we got lucky.
I know when you were starting out, I don't remember if it was the first stream or within the first 2 or 3 streams, one of the things that you were commenting about Darkest Dungeon 2 is that it nearly came across that you could jump from Act 1 to Act 2 to Act 3 very quickly if you just put in the right team, but then you could easily get
like
stagnated the more you go forward. Okay.
So Act 1 to Act 2, absolutely. I think you can easily jump from Act 1 to Act 2 with the same team going straight away and unlocking trinkets and things along the way and getting lucky. I think it is that there is not as much of a jump, but from Act 2 to Act 3 and then Act 3 to Act 4, I mean, I haven't seen that much of Act 4 yet, but I imagine it's going to be pretty rough. The jump up in difficulty is significant, and that's when you need to start having the extra trinkets, the combat items, and knowing what you're going to be going up against, knowing what items to have to defeat bosses, knowing how those bosses work, knowing what the best mechanic is to defeat them. And that's the only reason I think, alongside luck that we got through Act 3, I think it was also the fact that we knew how to defeat the bosses. We knew how to get our trophies. And once we kind of had that knowledge, it was a lot easier. So just you gain knowledge as you go across as much as you gain actual items.
Yeah.
And I think
definitely...
the knowledge gap between Act 2 and Act 3 is more significant.
I think the knowledge thing is actually, and the experience with it is something I think comes across in a lot of different roguelikes, and the example I always give is Hades, since I absolutely adore that. I remember my first few times playing Hades, I was really, really struggling, whereas now I could just go in and play with pretty much the bog standard equipment. And I'd probably have a bit of whiplash because I wouldn't have all the permanent upgrades. But there is a inherent feeling of simplicity in the progression of the first few levels that there wasn't there the first time I played. So now I could just strip away all those benefits and still progress and potentially even, win a run with no benefits. Whereas when I started playing, I was barely getting past the first boss. So yeah. I think the experience is a big part of it.
I agree. I think with Hades, you could stumble across. The thing that you get in Hades in each run is more stuff. I do think you gain some knowledge. Like, you gain, how do I defeat this boss? Okay, this is what I need to do to defeat this boss. But you can probably stumble through it if you had the right boons and the right items and the right trinkets and stuff. So I think you gain stuff in Hades, whereas I think in Darkest Dungeon you gain stuff and you gain knowledge.
Yeah, I do think it's a little bit of both, actually. I'm not sure if it's something you're aware of, but did you know you can actually manipulate the gods that you get and the boons that you get in Hades mid-run?
I didn't know that. How so?
Yeah. So I don't know the exact value of it, but for example, in Hades 1, you play Zagreus. There are a set amount of gods in the pool when you start your run. So for example, it might be Artemis, Ares, Zeus, Poseidon. And unless you do something else that adds in other gods, it will always be those 4.
Oh, right. No, I do know what you mean then. Yeah.
But what you can do is, let's say you only encounter 3 of the gods in your first act, and then you take a trinket in your second act that enforces another god to arrive. It will actually take the position of the 4th slot. So over a run, you can actually, to a certain extent, build your own pool of gods and understand how to manipulate the different boons you'd be getting, because several of them also have requirements as well. So there is a bit of a learning curve to it, but over time, I think it becomes more of a feel. But by the time you're about 70, 80 runs deep into Hades, which, again, should tell you everything about the amount of hours I put into that game, you can really start to manipulate how your build goes, and even, as strange as it is to say about a roguelike, make relatively consistent builds.
Yeah. But that's what you're trying to do with most of the time with a roguelike. You are trying to reduce RNG. You are trying to reduce the randomness so you can make sure you get the items that you want to make the super powerful build. At least in my experience, that's how I approach roguelikes. That's how I approach this.
I do think you're correct. That's probably one of the best ways to play, but I do think there's something so appealing and almost seductive about the, forgive my language, random bullshit go approach to a roguelike. To just saying, you know what, embrace the chaos, let's see what happens when we go ahead without really knowing what the plan is. And I think that's really part of the joy of it all.
Fair enough. It's interesting. We probably have different play styles on how we do things, but I do think just stumbling across a random thing can be a good way to then make builds later on. So otherwise, I wouldn't have discovered half the stuff in this game, for instance. But let's do a little bit of a Darkest Dungeon tutorial for yourself. So this trinket here. Staggering Striker. It applies on hit combos 66% of the time. When the flame is below 50, it gives execution 1 and it's plus 50% damage when target has immobilized. So, out of the list of people that do melee damage that you have seen, what would we want to pair this with? Who would we want this trinket with? Shouldn't you be asleep, Auroras? That is true, but I worked late, so I have energy.
And you know what? I woke up only a couple of hours ago, and there's my excuse. It's definitely not that I don't have an unhealthy sleep schedule. Who would pair it with? Well, my fun thing is always just going to ring in my head of, yes, let's force bring the Hellion, because I love the Hellion for absolutely no specific reason and no bias. Ultimately, my first thought would be potentially the Highwayman as well. I don't exactly know what execution is, but my first thought would be that having someone who can be very much a finisher will benefit from that. And I think from watching a few of your streams, the Highwayman is very good at a kind of parry and riposte and baiting that out. So if you can subject someone to CC and then bait them into attacking your Highwayman and get like a very powerful riposte, yeah, I think you could ultimately do a lot of damage. So it's probably, even if it's not a Highwayman directly, someone paired with them would be my first thought.
Yeah, those are both good answers. Highwayman or Man-at-Arms have riposte. So the 66% chance we can try and roll a lot of just by having them riposte and hitting them. So that would be a good route there. But we also have this plus 50% damage when target has immobilized, and the Hellion can immobilize people based on the specific path that they have. So you could do either of those.
Yeah. Seems that my level of bullshitting knowledge of this game is actually pretty efficient. Who knows?
Who I would probably put it on is the Man-at-Arms with a specific path, because he can also riposte and he can immobilize. So I think that would probably be what I would go with.
The melee skills execution, what specifically does that do? Like, I would assume it's bonus damage to someone on low health, but I might be incorrect.
That is incorrect. So execution, specifically execution 1, if they have a death armor, which is something new in this game. It wasn't in Darkest Dungeon 1, but in Darkest Dungeon 2, enemies have these things called death armors. If you get them to enough health and they only have one death armor left, and you hit them normally, they lose a death armor and they don't die. If you do something with execution, then if you hit them, they then will die, because they lose that death armor when they have low enough health.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense. Nice little beat the cheat death.
Yeah, it's the Hellion can do that on one of the paths where they build up enough winded. They can get execution 2, and they do massive damage. So you can effectively take, you can make your Hellion get really tired, so it takes a lot of damage, but then in return you do a massive amount of damage to them back, and you can possibly kill them in one hit because they have execution 2.
Oh wow. High risk, high reward.
It's the one downside to dot parties, damage over time parties, so that's your bleeds, that's your blights, that's your burns, because they will trigger the death armor multiple times and they don't necessarily have execution. So sometimes you might want to take someone with execution on them so you can take advantage of that. But that's why I like taking a highwayman on my dot parties, because he can make people bleed, but he can also execute people if he wants to.
Best of both worlds. No, that makes a lot of sense.
But dot worked really well on our last run. So, but we just happened to have a good boss that was multiple different things for Act 3. So, I think we'll go for another trinket.
Let's see what you get.
Curing Cuppa. It is a noxious trinket. It applies on hit, free blight for 3 turns at a 25% chance, plus 50% blight resistance when self HP is above 75. I don't know what the resistances for the heroes are off the top of my head, so I couldn't say for the last one. But we'd want to put this on somebody that does blight, basically. Or we'd put it on a highwayman or a man-at-arms for the amount of hits they get, so then they can effectively, even though they don't usually cause those things to happen, they can then start dotting.
Again, I'm not sure if it's available in Darkest Dungeon 2, but just from experience in similar type of games, my first thought is there a character that has a base resistance to Blight that can apply a lot of Blight to the enemy at the cost of applying some to yourself? Because then you can nearly mitigate that with Blight resistance. There we go. That could be a fun way to do it.
That's a good point. That would probably be good for a Flagellant. Unlike Darkest Dungeon 1, they don't work with bleed anymore, they work with blight. So they also could do a lot of hitting as well, but the resistance to blighting means they would resist their own blight, I think. So some things are unresistible, some things aren't resistible.
Definitely could be something to check out, because that could be a fun build if they have any natural resistance to it as well. Perhaps 60%, even 55% resistance to blight damage, but again, being able to spread the blight could be a lot of high dot.
Yeah. We will then go for combat item. We've got a Warhorn that just gives strength to 2 party members. Nope, it gives 2 times strength on a party member. That's just generally good. We'd want to use that on our hitters, not our dotters.
Yeah.
A drop of sanity.
Trinket Organizer, Luxury Gear, increased chance of looting trinkets. I found so many trinkets when playing this game that I would probably not want this. The only reason I would want it is the Luxury Gear option, because it could pair with one of our pets, because our pets can do things based on the types of items that we have on our wagon or on our person.
I think I just do that, and I think it just triggers the loot gremlin part of my brain, thinking, "Ooh, more loot, you say?"
But it's really good to have early, because it just means that we're going to have loads of trinkets earlier, and then we can get rid of it later if we want to. Let's grab an in item. Meditative token, -2 stress, remove negative to quirk 67%. That's great.
I was about to say, that's really solid.
Some of these things in this game have downsides that you can then offset with upsides. This is just a good item. So many times I want to get rid of a negative quirk and I can't. And we've got 3 more torches.
So you can only go for trinket.
Anything. So we'll go for a trinket.
So with the candles, is it worth hanging on to any, or is it just you spend pretty much all of them between rounds?
You could hang on to them to then upgrade your heroes faster. That probably would be a valid strategy. You could do that. I've just tended to use them in one go when I've had them. There is a possibility, so you can you can go through Act 1 and try and purposely kill one of your heroes once they've completed their goals, because they give goals per hero. Or if you have a hero that doesn't have an applicable goal, you could kill them to then hope to get another hero with a goal, so you can maximize candles. So you can try and maximize candles if you want to. And just like Darkest Dungeon 1, you can give yourself a worse... there's different flames you can have in this, and you can give yourself a worse flame that will give you more negatives to get more candles. So if I was redoing Act 1 or Act 2 again, I would probably do that.
So we can beat the powers of RNG through mass manipulation of it through sacrificing our heroes. Lovely.
Yep. That's how this game makes you think. Plus 20% max armor when armor item is equipped. We don't know what we have. I think our first trinket was a weapon item though. So that's plus 20% damage when weapon item is equipped. So we'd probably give that to whoever we give our first trinket to. But we could find something early and then decide to swap that around. So that's just pretty good, really. It doesn't give us any downsides.
You were saying the Highwayman or the Man at Arms would be good for that.
We know we want one. We know we probably want the Flagellant. We know we probably want a riposter.
Search of what hope yet remains.
And we want to drop our torch below 50 as well, because otherwise the effect doesn't trigger.
Ah.
We could do number 3, not number 4.
Or be consumed by them.
Not that ambitious yet.
Not yet. We tried that last time and we died horrifically, and I want to get more stuff.
At my insistence, we retired to our room, where I countered your excitement by clearly outlining the vulnerability of our position. Reason prevailed, and we elected to block the door with a large dresser.
I refuse to empathise with the... This game can do as much as it wants. I refuse to empathise with the Ancestor.
Hope to find their way.
Because of everything from Darkest Dungeon 1?
Yes. Because he's an awful person and no one can convince me otherwise. He's not tragic, he's just a bad person. Oh, we could give our trinket to our first one, potentially. We could give it to our Flagellant, but he's not attacking as much as I would like him to. But he will be our blighter, so...
Yeah, I think he'll do fine with the tea as well. If you give him... I think it was the teacup? Was the trinket?
Yes.
I don't think it needs to go onto the other attack ones. I think the teacup will be just fine.
Let's see if there's any other paths we want to take for him. Well, let's try and build a party and then we'll figure... Well, no, actually, we should probably check our paths beforehand. I really like the Maniac path, because...
So what does Maniac do?
It means it changes some of the skills. And this is a really nice change I like from Darkest Dungeon 1. In Darkest Dungeon 2, you can change the way the skills work. Whereas in the first one, they were relatively static, and you got a lot of your effects from trinkets, whereas this one does both. And I like that. Gives us more options to play with.
I was
people
about to say, seeing...
generally don't seem to like this. People are wrong.
You know what? I'm inclined to agree at first glance. I can understand that it nearly typecasts the characters a bit more, that it takes away the ability to just turn them into blank slates and make them hyper flexible. But I like the idea of all of them having that bit more identity through the, as you said, the paths.
Indeed. Hello, Knight. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing well. Welcome. At work, I'll pull up with a squad for your next stream. Add me on Discord. I don't tend to add people on Discord immediately, but what I can do for you, Knight, if you are interested, is we do have a Discord server that you can join, and it will also ping you when I go live next, which should be tomorrow, probably around the same time, because I'll be doing it once again after work. But yeah, so following the Discord will do that for you. But thank you very much. I appreciate you turning up anyway. So for this, it is going to drop his blight damage a little bit, but we can offset that with our trinket. We also, this will be relatively good. I'm just trying to see. It's when he gets mega stressed, he starts doing blight damage to himself. But every single time someone hits him, he also does blight damage to them. So, if he can resist that blight, the trinket has double purpose. Not only does it add blight to enemies, it will also make it so he can resist his own blight and also blight enemies. So, I think this would be a good choice.
One of the things that also comes to mind, when enemies attack him and they get blighted, is that a counter attack or is that just a kind of proc effect?
That's just a proc effect. It's just like forms.
So it won't really work with the on attack use blight thing to stack tremendous amount of blight stacks.
No, but it would if we had if he was posting, but he doesn't.
Got it.
So we could go with Exsanguinate, which would change this again, but it's going to remove my combo. And I like my combos, because it does cool stuff for other people. Do you remember Mark from the first one? When you mark someone?
Yes, I do.
It's like that, but better.
Buff, we like.
Because it allows... It's now incorporated that mechanic amongst all characters. So... you can get through a game without having combo. Some people are more suited to doing and using combos than others. But these various different paths can also enhance whether the combo does different effects to things. So with that in mind, and we want him as a frontliner, so I'm going to keep that. I don't really use him as a healer. I probably should.
And they do a little bit of both.
So I can have him as an attacker. I can have him get attacked, because he will taunt when he does this. And he will also heal when he does this, and that means he can heal other people.
My thought is, if you can have him that his main goal on his own turn is to support the party, and outside of his turn is to get hit. You can kind of just use him as a bit of a meat shield to spread blight to the enemy. And then resist his own blight as well.
Getting stressed, which we can do here, because he can take other people's stress. But the only problem with him getting stressed with everyone is he reduces all his relationships with everyone else and also makes them stressed. So it's a strategy I like to employ when things are going to hell.
Good backup plan. And he is a stress healer, so...
So I think we will keep this. It means that he can only really do this when he's attacking, but that is fine. And when he is attacking, he will be good at attacking because he will be doing lots of light. Who else do we want? I've already kind of forgotten some of the trinkets. I always look at Highwayman because I like Highwayman. That's not good for him, because he always goes... He's probably going to go to low health. Yeah, he can also stun himself, so... not a huge fan of that. I mean, we could get rid of it, but that's a chance.
The two on the far right that are currently locked, are they just characters that you haven't unlocked yet, or are they part of the DLC?
These two? So one I know for a fact is the Crusader, and the other one is a new character. I haven't got that DLC. So, but I plan on getting it, so... Just gotta wait for payday. I do want to unlock more things for our Grave Robber. Our Grave Robber works great with, and actually works really well with them, because when they hit, they knock back. When we upgrade it, they will knock back and combo. So they can knock back, combo them, and then they can finish them off with a awesome
exploiting that combo with crit
from Thrown Dagger, and that also puts them in the position where they can hit them. So as long as he actually pushes them, then we won't have any issues. And so I like doing Deadeye for that. Possibly put them in position here instead, because they can do it from position 3. This was an interesting one, because that means they can also taunt, so we could keep somebody taunting at all times, because when their taunt ends, they're going to have a cooldown, so they could also taunt as well. That's a possible strategy.
The one thought that immediately comes to mind, does she have riposte?
No.
So is she likely to take a lot of damage because she's only got 29 health, and then wouldn't that push you quite quickly towards needing healing for her? Is just one of the thoughts that comes to mind.
Possibly. It's going to be a chance to them, because if they taunt, they are also dodging. So when they taunt, they dodge, and they also remove stealth. If we upgrade that, they have a double dodge, makes it even harder to hit them. 25%, I think, off the top of my head. And also they gain more crit if this happens. Which is interesting. This tooltip I don't think is correct, because it says remove invisibility, gain +4 crit when missed, 3 turns when self has invisibility, but you've removed invisibility from yourself. So that only means you can get +8 crit, because then you can do this on their next turn, which makes them invisible, and that you won't be using this ability again, because it'll be on cooldown. So you can do that, but it will only ever be +8 crit, and I wonder if that's actually correct in the game's coding. I wonder if it's actually +4 crit when missed, but regardless of whether they're invisible or not. And it's very difficult to tell, because it's difficult to tell crit rate on this sheet. You'd probably have to go look in this sheet, because it will update different conditions that they have on them at the time. But I would like this, because this also takes advantage of crit. It also ignores armor, which can be really annoying on enemies. And if we upgrade it,
and again, it would synergize with the knockback. If they're CC'd, it has the additional crit chance with the flagellance knockback.
Yeah.
So all the more.
But I'm not going.
Oh, and she's got a bit of self healing, which is useful.
Yes, but we're not going to rely on that.
Okay.
I think I'd rather have the ability for her to go invisible, because she ignores dodge when she is invisible. So if we ever have nothing for her to do, she can do that and then give herself some crit, even regardless of whether they are. Give herself ignoring dodge, even regardless of when she's invisible or not.
And considering what you were saying about the taunting, it would probably just help for aggro juggling between a couple of different characters.
I'm tempted to actually then do this and have her do this, because there might be times where she can't hit or can't attack, and this would be a good thing to do in that time frame.
So then stealth into it, then yeah.
We have a backliner, we have a healer, but I would like another healer, but I would also like a stress healer, because they can stress heal, but they also take it on themselves. So it would be nice to have our Jester,
a dedicated stress healer
for our Jester. I think
Jester was one of the ones I did remember quite liking in Darkest Dungeon 1 when I played it, but that was years ago.
It was always Jester and Vestal. To build a best party, you usually had Jester and Vestal in it, but it meant that people only ever relied on that, and they didn't see the advantage of using other stress healers that could also heal and do other things. But Jester is nice to have, especially now, because they can make people blind, and that's really useful, as well as applying combo. So if you stack blind with dodge, it means they're never going to be able to hit our Grave Robber. The only annoying thing is they're a back and forth character. So if I do this, Flagellant's going to be moving into these positions.
The final chord has been struck.
Or possibly we send our Grave Robber forward.
I was about to actually suggest just that, because she can attack from position 2 and 3, both, so you could even swap them.
But her best abilities are best used here. But we can do that because we have Pick to the Face. So that is a strategy.
Again, this is only going to be some of the time that they're not perfectly optimal, but they will be able to swap between them, so you can nearly wait your cooldowns or when it is more optimal to be using them in that 3rd rank.
But yeah, I like it for combo too. So combo take advantage of. This is going to just even more work with our Grave Robber here. Because sometimes the enemies will just move themselves anyway. They will just shuffle themselves and they'll dance around. So we can also take advantage of that when they decide to move their first position into like 4th position. Because the enemies that often like to be at the back and we drag them forward will then want to go back, and the other enemies will want to go forward because they're best in the front position. They work exactly like us.
Well, one of the thoughts that comes to mind is, would it be helpful at this stage to have a couple more, or to have a bit more reliable setup for the combo, since there's a lot of exploit potential off that? Would there be the fourth character slot that could, or even,
My
I don't know,
character slot, I would
just
like to be able to take advantage of those combos because we'll have even more combos. But I also am aware that we need healing unless we really rely on our flagellant. Or we just kill them. That is also an option. We just kill our enemies, and so far we're doing alright for that.
They can't deal any damage to you if they're dead.
This is true.
I'm just thinking, how much setup or combo do you have amongst the party so far? Since you're very reliant on it.
We've got combo here, we've got combo here.
As long as you've got the setup for it, then it's fine.
And we've also potentially got combo in the second and third rank with this when we want to make enemies bleed, and we also hit 2 enemies when we do that, so we've got blight and bleed set up.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
I can see a potential of them being in the front line and wanting to bring someone forward to do more damage. So they move to position 1. We then use that effect rather than going backwards and attacking. We then use we then move this one forward and give them strength, which makes our flagellant even stronger. Once again, it's also bearing in mind: is it better just to hit someone, or is it better to make sure somebody else hits them really well? And sometimes it just depends on situation and how you feel. So I'm pretty happy with a jester like this. And finally, we need healing, and we need a backliner, and we need someone that takes advantage of combo.
To know the abyss,
And I think our occultist can do that.
one must embrace it.
And I think we want an occultist that can also build up a lot of their fervor. And they usually do that by targeting people that have combo, giving them combo. The only problem is the occultist adds a lot of combo as well. So potentially we don't want this and we want somebody else. There is a weird way of healing that I have thought of that we could do.
Okay, now I'm intrigued.
We have a man at armor at the back. We change him to sergeant. When he hits people, he heals all allies ahead. But he doesn't heal them reliably, but he always heals them when they have combo on them. So it's always 2 healing every single time. But the problem is, are we going to be losing health so much? But we also have the flagellant there in case we need to heal others.
And again, this seems to be a very heavy, hey, if we kill them, we don't need to worry about healing too much. So if you go into a lot of offense and then just have the taunt, no, I think that this seems like
also,
fun. And then you can also test out the new, I think it's...
Depending on where we go, and depending on how we decide to move on our journey, we could potentially say, okay, we're going to avoid as many enemies as we can because we're really low health right now. This is providing we know what we're going to be going up against, which we always do. We don't always know. So we can do that. It just might make it a little bit difficult. But we have since unlocked more abilities with our man-at-arms, and that probably will affect its path. So I'm just going to switch them back. Yeah, so we've unlocked Retribution and Stand Fast. And now that we've done that, they also get changed from their abilities, because that usually riposts, and now it won't. So this is all allies ahead, gain strength when self HP is under 75. If we upgrade it, it's all allies ahead, gain strength when self under 100%, and if he's under 25%, he will give everybody else crit. Problem is, if he's under 25%, he's in danger of dying, and we only have one other healer. But we could potentially make that happen, because he can protect people. So we can make him lose health, and then choose not to make him lose his health. That works until some little git at the back decides he's going to snipe you from across the map.
That's what I was about to bring up, is if you can just juggle the aggro pretty well, it does seem like it's a plan. Is there a way to ignore taunts? Do a lot of enemies have that capability?
Some enemies have that capability, and they're really annoying. There's not too much we can do to avoid taunt. You can only avoid taunt when you can't physically attack that place. So if you can attack that place, you have to attack that place unless you choose another ability which isn't attacking. Alternatively, we have a highwayman, but not on my favourite path, but on sharpshooter,
seeking to outpace the past.
which is where they stay at the back and they shoot people. So
And at that
this
stage, you're really
changes-
not taking any healing at that point.
No. We're not taking any healing. We would be entirely reliant on the flagellant or just healing in between battles, but we would do a lot of damage. And this does increase the damage with those attacks as well. This isn't going to happen because he's not going to be in the position where he gets to the front unless we make him, but that would be for a dancing party that would work. So I'm not inclined to do this, but it is an idea for the future.
What about the Vestal?
Vestal, we could potentially put there. Reliable healing.
Yeah.
So we don't want to do Chaplain. This is game when hit. They almost act as a man-at-arms here, because they do have an ability where they protect people. So we could have them go to the back and then heal from there. But all their other abilities are now moved from focusing at the back to them being at the front. So the idea is you have them at the front to do this. Unless we just don't choose abilities that do that.
Could and play into kind of true cleric, and then that bit of protection.
They would remove dodge, they would remove invisibility, and it means they cannot gain dodge. We could potentially use our fervor to do massive damage with judgment. We could use the fervor to do massive healing and make it more likely to crit. We can also pair this with our... So this ability, where is it? Consecration or Fortitude. It doesn't really spell it out, so let me just bring it up. Consecration or Fortitude, if they put that on a space, and it is only on a space, it's not on a person, will then give them either armor or dodge. So potentially...
Which works well with the
we can
Grave
put that
Robber.
on our put that on our Grave Robber. We can potentially put that on our Flagellant, so they take less damage, and they then get more healing. But it also can mean our Flagellant doesn't get hit because it also has a chance to dodge.
Because that's the thing I was thinking. The Grave Robber can have their own stim for 50 dodge, and that seemed to stack twice for 100 dodge, which I figured would be pretty efficient.
But the problem is, this effect only does armor or dodge. So this would be armor or dodge here. So if they get hit, that does not that won't give the buff effect.
Got it.
But it would mean if they do get hit, they don't take as much damage. So that's
We win
also
coin
potentially a good thing. It also means that we would give them... I think it would overwrite their 2 dodge. So we could do it on their 3rd turn when they get hit. Also, if they're taunting, they might get attacked by multiple people in 1 turn. So... But I don't hate the idea of a Vestal. We just need to decide if we want them to have that ability. And I think a normal Vestal with no path would be better. In fact, that's actually position 3 would be better for them. We can have our Grave Robber, but they can't ignore the armor there.
I think having the armor ignore would be better, and then we can just switch the... As I was literally about to suggest the Occultist the same instead of the Vestal.
There's also another option. Runaway has Cauterize. This is not dependent on people's health. If they're bleeding, we heal them. And people will just bleed occasionally. There are plenty of enemies that will cause bleeding. We could go into a section where there's none of that. And we have a ranged Dotter, because they can Firefly from the back. They can also heal themselves. But we lose out on some of their more damaging abilities. But they can act as a pseudo-healer.
I do think that just looking at this from all the options we've gone through, the Occultist does seem, I think, the most potent as a pairing to this group that we have so far.
Yeah, let's have a look at... this increases damage dealt and received. Self per crit. Self per crit. Okay, that only does it if it crits. Okay, we potentially... Nope. Really would be good in position 3, because this, if they get a killing blow, they gain...
They're further.
And it has execution as well, they gain further. Oh, I've done something weird with my mouse. Hold on. There we go, my sensitivity's back. Pull to days when to further. We want further when comboed.
And there will be a lot of combos set up for it, so...
Yeah, he himself will be providing combo.
Will you have your second or your third and fourth ranks, the back 2 ranks, swapping around a lot? Is there a lot of effects?
No, they should be
shuffle?
staying in the same position.
Yeah.
There's one.
So
more
I am
we can
thinking if you're
definitely
putting
that. Our man at arms
Pride.
on
More
Sergeant
devastating than the horrors of 100
when
campaigns.
doing some of their when they use their crush ability, they can immobilize themselves. So even if something does move them back, he won't move.
Immovable. Entirely.
If this person is immovable, so let's say our Jester becomes immovable, our Grave Robber will, if they dance ahead, so if they go forward by one of our abilities or one of the enemy abilities, they will skip it and go over to where the Flagellant is, sending the Flagellant back, which is bad. But having them at the back, there is nowhere for them to go. There's no more further back. I'll let you make the call. Who do you want in the back?
I am currently deciding between Man-at-Arms and the Occultist. Ultimately, I think Man-at-Arms, and just keep that consistent healing going as a little bit over time, and then you can panic heal with the Flagellant by just taking the stress and getting high on stress.
Okay.
And then we can also cope with those interesting trinkets.
As well. So we got this, that's fine. That's how we're going to take advantage of 2 combos. We now got 2 combos used up, so that will be fine. Increasing everyone's speed isn't a bad thing. Also removing negative tokens from them is also a good thing. So we'll take that. They're not going to be in the position to do this, and we don't want them to, so we're not going to take that. We could potentially take Defender. We don't want this because it sends them forward. This is a stress heal. It's just a nice additional stress heal that also gives armor, which is nice.
I was about to say that could be very good on the Flagellant if they're taunting and they're getting more stressed and lower on health.
Yeah, because we could get into a situation where we have our Flagellant taunting and they've already lost both of the armors they get from taunting. And therefore we don't want them to take damage, so we could potentially protect them, or we could potentially stress heal them, or stuff like that. So yeah. 1, 2, 3. I don't see the point in adding resistances. I know this is probably sensible, but I don't want to. Because I'm confused. That sends forward, we don't want that. All eyes ahead, we will do that in case they get to low health. Even just giving strength to our Flagellant, giving strength to our Jester, giving strength to our Grave Robber will be really good actually with the Grave Robber, because it just means they do 50% extra damage, and if they crit, which they're likely to, they will do an extra 50% on top of that. So it is a good thing. And I'm tempted to grab Guarding just for potential use. And also this probably pairs the best with our Jester, because our Jester's not going to be pushing people back out of the range of their crush.
The crush was actually one of the things I was really looking at as a centralized point to this, is the fact that you can, every time you're attacking, pretty much every time you have a turn, if you have kind of a fill, it's always nice to just be able to, everyone else gets healed for 2. Because you're probably never going to be on like full health all the time, so that will always give a bit of value to the team.
Okay, Just going to double check I haven't messed anything up and forgotten to do anything.
Trinkets? Or do you want to do all the ability setups
Not
first?
yet. We can't actually put trinkets onto them until we get to the first bit.
Cool.
None of my Jester's paths, I don't actually have the abilities that are relevant to it. So we're just going to keep him as a wanderer.
Flagellant we've already planned out.
That's fine. And that's fine. Everyone's got the right abilities. We can change these abilities. And sometimes we might want to, in case we lose someone and then our whole party setup is messed up. So if we lose our Flagellant, that pushes our Grave Robber forward. Our Grave Robber can't do as much, so we're going to want to change our Grave Robber's abilities to make them make more sense. Our Man-at-Arms actually will probably be fine. Yes, our Man-at-Arms will be fine. But we might want to change some abilities around. Same thing if we lose our Jester, we're probably going to want to change our Grave Robber's abilities and our Flagellant's abilities. So yeah, if we lose someone, it's always good to be able to change things around, but we are aiming not to. So we need to actually get just past this section in the valley. And now we have access to our cart.
This was a
So now we have access to all our shit.
What a pity.
So we wanted the cure and cover. Apply on hit 3 turns of... And this is them hitting, not them hitting us. Free blight. This is a 25% chance, but that probably will proc. And plus 50% resistance when self HP is above 75.
So if you hover over the resistance on the left, is that 100% damage reduction?
That is
For blight.
they now have 100% blight resistance.
So they can always apply blight to themselves with no downside at the moment, when above 75% health.
As long as we can
that's
resist
38
that
health or
blight.
higher.
Some blight is unresistible. So them
Got it.
going, I'm not entirely sure how it works, but them stressing out, going to 10 stress, might just auto add it. It might not. I don't know.
Only one way to find out.
It's still good for them to have because it means our frontliner will never get blighted, unless they have over 100%, which is possible. But we will keep an eye out to see if they have over 100% to combat that. Our other trinket is our Staggering Striker. This is apply on hit combo when flame is below 50, so we want to try and get to that as quickly as possible. It gives melee skills execution 1, plus 50% damage when target has been immobilized, which I don't think we can do at the moment. We only self-mobilize us, but there will be times where we can potentially immobilize them. And we can do that through combat items and different things, so we could take advantage of that. I'm tempted to put this on our Jester, because our Jester has this ability where they can hit 2 people.
So it gives 2 chances for the apply on hit proc.
And it is a melee as well.
Yeah.
And having our
Okay.
Jester be able to execute could be really good, because we hopefully will have them on lower damage due to everyone else. Lower health even.
I think it's worth the attempt.
The only thing we're losing out on is our combo, because he's guaranteeing combo. So is he. But this is not. This is melee skills. Would only apply to this. Potentially could apply to our crush. It means they do. It means they would be able to provide combo as well, potentially for themselves on the next turn. So there is a argument to put them on there. So it would either be Jester or Man-at-Arms. Do you have a preference?
Do you have... No, so there's no other trinkets that can be placed. Anyway, it's just these 2.
At the moment.
Yeah, I think that it's completely fine to just have the striker go on the Jester. Because I'm also wondering if it would be helpful to put the key either onto the Man
This
at
is an
Arms.
armor item. This will, with this item, we can pair it up with this trinket. It means that they would have plus 20% max health, which will be good for our Jester.
Well, the one thing that comes to mind, actually, if we go to the Man at Arms, I know one of the abilities, number 4, has the effect of it's only active while below 75% self-health, or 100% self-health when it's upgraded. Having the max HP would just make that a little more safe.
It would also
So
make
the
it more
thought is you could
difficult
apply
to
both
get
of
to
them.
that point.
That is also fair.
But we don't have massive amounts of healing, so it's not. We could do that.
When he heals with his crush, does it heal him as well, or is it just his party?
No, it's everybody else. So we need to. The only reliable healing we can get for the man-at-arms is from our flagellant.
But I actually think that's good, because then you can give it's easier to keep him at his thresholds. So I think actually giving both of those to the man-at-arms would probably be best.
Yeah, fair enough. It also means when he gets to 25% on the upgrade, would be easier to manage in terms of health.
Yeah.
So also to bear in mind our speed, we know that most likely our Grave Robber is going to be going first, and then it's going to be our Jester, and then our Flagellant, and then our Man-at-Arms, which is good. We want the...
I was about to say, that is good.
We want the Jester and the Flagellant to go before our Man-at-Arms because we want them to set up combo. Ideally, we want our Jester or our Flagellant, probably our Flagellant, to go first ahead of our Grave Robber so they can set up combo. But we can offset that, and we can just say another turn, and just have them do a good attack on the first one, because this is still a good attack. It's still a 20% chance to crit, so it still can proc.
I think the other side of it is when it
rotates for it, it'll be even better.
When it rotates back into like the next stage of initiative, you do have you could just have your Man-at-Arms not exploit the combo, and then leave the combo open for the Grave Robber to use. Yeah. So.
And that's all we need to do for now. We can't put any of our stagecoach items on until we get to an inn. So, and I just missed that hay bales. We want to hit into these because these give us items.
Comforts are exhausted.
I forgot one thing. Ahead, our goals, cosmic beings, cadavers, and spine. Okay, we're never going to have any of those here, so.
Nothing to worry about then.
Oh look, some bread. How lovely.
The of your denial is giving way.
We're not going to be that good at the moment because we don't have the... We need to upgrade the Jester's ability and the Flagellant's ability first. But we can still set up some combos. They're going to go invisible.
You have the invisible reveal, right? On repartee?
That was on our...
Oh, it's self-remove.
Vestal. This is self-removing their own... Stealth. I don't think we have anyone that can see through
might be worth
ability at all.
Getting a dot effect on them, just so even when they're stealthed.
Good point.
Nice.
They don't have much health either. They also didn't stealth for some reason. They usually do. We can deal with the annoying threat straight away, or we could... I think we deal with the annoying threat straight away.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've done 5 damage to them. When they take 2 bleed, they will die on their turn. I'm going to have them take some damage, so we know that they're going to hit them. And this will heal them as well. Also gives them armor. And currently our Man-at-Arms can't do much. We're already pretty speedy ahead of them. We don't really care if they get hit. We actually want them to get hit, so we're just going to chip away at the damage on them.
Go for a drop, yeah.
Hope for max. That's still not enough to kill them, but that would mean they would die in 2 turns.
Also means that Jester's getting a couple of health from this. Okay, there's the fervor.
They go first. See, it's they roll a dice, so it's never guaranteed what the order's going to be unless you have big speed differentials. If we hit them, they'll probably die, or we can reduce them to the point where the dot will kill them. So I think we hit them. Alternatively, we could hit them, but bearing in mind the Grave Robber's next, so the Grave Robber could take out them.
The one at the back is going to die to bleed anyway. If you hit the one in second position, they will die to their bleed on their turn as well. So you can just then have it that all your next targets
they'll take it on 2 turns because they've got 4 health and they've got 2 bleeding.
Well, you're doing minimum 4 damage, no?
Yeah, I will do a minimum 4 damage, which would kill them. So we would kill them.
So we can,
but this leaves the Grave Robber only with 1 ability to attack them and not their best ability.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, we could kill them.
I think then you can just easily attack the first target. And then just leave the other Grave Robber. Yeah.
Yeah.
Attack the zombie front.
Because this means we can at least hit them, whereas we might not be able to reliably hit them otherwise. So they bleed.
The death blow for both.
And then it's going to be them. I'm actually tempted to do Fade to Black because that will blind them.
Which means they'll be less likely to hit the
flagellant if we don't kill them with the flagellant. Yeah. Even though it puts that Grave Robber in a weird place.
Oh, nice and easy.
And they took damage, but then they healed it all back, and we haven't even taken any stress. Sometimes I come out of this first area and I'm already mega stressed.
No stress so far.
Also, sometimes when you go into another area and you have to make a corner, it puts you in a weird position where you can't grab the little items along the way, and it's really annoying.
Well, you have your inn now, so you can equip your coach items.
Rest tonight.
Cool, we've got that. So what we will do immediately is we'll drop our coach items. We know what we want to master. We want to grab this for combo. This also knocks them back 2 now, which is good, because it's going to allow them to be in a better position for our Grave Robber. So we'll upgrade that. And then for the extra combo, this will if we do this, it then allows for combo to be placed by our Jester. We do have jet combo here, but this just more reliably means that we can go forward, then back, and do it on both attacks.
I was about to say, dance around. Yep, that sounds like a plan to me.
We will just ignore the things. We'll do the things I know I want to do.
If indeed it ever did.
How many? We've got lots of relics. Do we have any food already? We do have some food. Yeah, this is what we'll do then. We're going to take a steak and spuds. We're going to take an apple and cheese, and we're going to take a stale bread. The steak and spuds will lower the speed for 1 region. I'm actually going to probably give this to our Grave Robber in the hopes that their speed gets lower, so one of these 2 will go first.
Yep, sounds reasonable.
It also increases their health a lot.
That is also nice, considering they are relatively squish.
This will increase speed. It will also increase debuff resistance. Not speed, sorry, health. We could probably give this to our Flagellant just to make them more beefy. We could do this to upgrade the health of our Jester. We also don't want our Jester getting debuffed, otherwise we lose one of our comboers.
I'd say keep it for them then, just to keep this I guess security of the
stale bread. But I agree. I think we should give it to the Jester.
Because
unless
then
you had a different
it's just,
thing in mind.
No. It's just if it does, since it's stopping the debuff, it'll just make everything, like you said, less RNG dependent. And that is a nice bit of security that we can have.
And then we give the rest of that to everyone else. So at least we have upgraded their health somewhat. Actually, it was the exact same, but the debuff resistance will be nice.
Yeah.
We could up our blight resistance even more, so it's 125% blight resistance, or we could potentially give it to the other person that will get hit by blight that has 20% resistance.
I think that would be a wiser thing to do, even if it's significantly less funny.
Well, let's also bear in mind where we're going.
Consider your position and plan.
Shroud will probably give us blight and bleed. There's a lot of bleed enemies here. Tangle gives us also a lot of bleed. I think Shroud will give us more bleed. Cosmic beings, cadavers, swine. I'm just going to have a quick look up.
Enemy types in those regions?
So, yep, that's right. So swine. Yes, I know that. Where are they? I'm not going to trust the AI overview. Swine are
never
in
trust
the Sloosh, which we don't have access to right now. And then the rest was cadavers. We're always going to encounter cosmic beings. Cadavers are in the tangle. We can go to the tangle. So I think what we do is we give our... We're going to go to the tangle, I think. Clear out the lair. We can do that. Actually, that's probably where we're going to get some blight people as well. They're going to bleed as well, but we can't do anything about that. So
I think then giving blight resistance to the jester would also be good before we continue.
I concur. Okay.
Any bleed resistance available as well? Potentially for our flagellant.
There is something here that would give us
Expensive
bleed resist.
trinket.
The other ones make it easier for them to bleed. Let's have a look at these.
I was about to say, I think it might be better just to not spend on the trinkets for now. Just wait to see if we can roll for a better one.
Positive gears.
Positive might be good for the flagellant specifically, since you were saying that they have a lot of issues with the blight when they get low of losing relationship capabilities.
So this would be a luxury gear. We have one luxury gear already. And our luxury gear pet is the dog, which gives a chance of stress resistance and also increases positive relationship chance, just flat. So that would pair with that, give us a plus 16% chance of positive relationship chance, and also would give us a plus 10 stress resist. In the event the flagellant does fake out, it will then possibly be resisted by everybody else. It would allow us to manage our stress better. So it probably is a good idea to go for the luxury gear to add that on. However, we also know we want to get our healing through movement, not necessarily through healing in the battles. So we could go for gain on killing blow versus corpses, but we rarely want to attack corpses, like at all, because we want to kill people.
I'd say that's DPS lost.
But this is good if you have a cultist who has the attack on it, because they also gain effects from destroying corpses. So that pairs with that quite well. The other one would be this one, plus 10% healing from skills per medical item equipped. So that's skills, that's not relevant. But random hero after each location, 10% healing. So this is something to bear in mind. But my personal call would be to go for the Orphan Wolf Pet Cub and worry about healing later.
Yeah, let's put a Chekhov's gun in place. We don't need to worry about healing.
And let's grab this luxury item. And the rest of these aren't luxury.
BT service, yeah.
No. So that means that we have locked ourselves out of that trinket, but that's fine. Yeah, I don't really want to potentially grab this because it means that they have less move resistance, which we don't want. So we can only put that on one person. So let's grab Doggy.
It cannot fight.
And we'll get the T set.
It can calm.
Stop double clicking. Flame. This would also pair with our pet, because it would mean that we get plus 35% stress resistance. We'd get minus 25% flame drain, but we kind of want flame drain due to one of our trinkets.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
It also means less candles of hope. This has an effect that they will randomly go from all of these, but we get more candles. But we've got debuff resistance, we've got higher resolute chance.
And that's also less crit.
Less crit, less speed, which we don't want, but it might be worth offsetting. This is minus 33% relationship chance. We'd basically be off. We'd be lower than when we started, but we have offset it slightly. Minus 50% max flame means we're going to get to lower flame quicker. At various flame levels, heroes gain plus crit on meltdown, so that would incentivize us to actually get stressed, but that's going to fuck over our relationship chances.
And we've already got stress resist, so I don't think that'll be as likely.
It also
So
means
getting
enemies get
benefit from
crit
that.
and enemy advantage. So
I think let's not.
my inclination is to go for the second one.
Yeah, even with the
and
minus crit chance.
Yes, because we're going to be getting such high crit chance that it won't matter.
Got it. Then second one, yeah.
We'll be getting possibly up to 58 without trinkets. -3 won't be making too much of a difference in regards to that. Obviously it does, and it will when you need it. But it is a thing. Also, the minus speed means that maybe our Grave Robber won't go straight away.
That's also a fair point. I hadn't considered that.
And I also want to have a bit of a challenge.
Don't want to make it too easy.
For those who would seek to stifle us.
We're good there. Don't want any of these trinkets. Do we want any in items? Usually I like going for high relationship chances. But... So when... which one? When weapon item is equipped, we can potentially get a weapon item through our combat items. Don't be silly, of course we can't. But we could potentially find one. That's fine. That's not reliant on any items. It's not on you anymore, it's on you. Plan on hit 3% plus 3, yeah. So there's not any reason to go for combat items except for the uses that they give. We want to keep flame low, so we just rely on, if we get really low flame, on finding something that will increase it, which is surprisingly does happen.
Okay. We've already got a war horn.
I'm actually thinking we will not spend any more relics.
That's what I was going to bring up. We already are low on currency. There's no need to could save up for the opportunity to cost us something later.
I don't know how hydrophobic it would come up, but it could be good to get rid of. Pillager fearing isn't the end of the world, but it can come up. But we now have a we now have a plus 40% rather than a plus 50%.
Stress resist. So.
This is annoying. This offsets our positive and negative relationship chance. Actually, it's still higher.
Entirely. Yeah, I think it's 11% now instead of 16.
Plus 10 positive relationship chance. So that would be plus 5. So it's not the end of the world, but it would be nice to get rid of. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Would like different ones, but that's fine. But we can potentially come across a hoarder that could have loads of stuff, or we could potentially come across a field hospital and we can grab more items there. And that means that we can kind of judge it by how we go. So I think we're good. I think we set out. Yeah, this is most of the stuff I usually think in my head and don't say out loud. So this does give me an opportunity to actually speak about my thought process in regards to it.
You have to justify your madness to someone.
Exactly.
Resignation.
Seeing as we might want to avoid fighting, scouting could be good. We will lose an armor, and we don't know too many places for armor later on. Our armor, if we have free armor, gives us guaranteed armor when we start. This gives us loathing. Loathing gives just generally debuffs. Also makes the flame drain quicker, which is kind of good.
I was about to bring that up. The torchlight on the side, is that showing that it is draining quicker, or... Oh no, that's saying it's a candle. Ooh, yeah, candles. Come on, let's risk it for the candle.
We'd get a candle that way. We'd also get to grab more abilities, which would be cool. They also have preferences, which I completely forgot about, down the bottom. So they also have... If you don't do what they want, sometimes they'll be pissed off about that and start having lower relationships with each other. So if one wants to go to a Shrine of Reflection and one wants to go to a Watchtower, and you choose one rather than the other, they'll get pissed off at each other.
I say the whole party wants to go to the shrine, so we go to the shrine.
We also want to
it's
clear
going to be
out
a
the
fun
layer. And the layer... And that's a creature den. Oh, they want to clear out a layer. They want to win against the boss. Well, backlines can hit the backline. We only need, for this boss, we need to just be able to hit the back, which we can do here. Which we can do there.
Hit the whole room.
And we want to be able to do it twice. We'll judge that as we go, because we might find some stuff we can use to help with that. So we'll go to the shrine. And then we'll decide if we want to go to the resistance encounter, which gives us more stuff. I'll pause a sec. The loathing gives us, at this level, plus 10% flame drain, plus 20% enemy advantage.
Onward, while there is still time.
Which is just a thing that's going to happen. But we can offset that by killing the people that get advantage.
By confronting the past, we learn.
I base this on how many we've got. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I did want to grab one for Jester. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's going to be one of these three. I quite like to see what else the Jester has, so I'm inclined to choose Jester. They won't get pissed off at each other for this as well.
Chapter 3. Play to the crowd. When word of his uncommon talent reached the palace, he was summoned to entertain king and court. Anticipating an historic performance and enthused adulation, he was stunned to find himself instead the object of their debased ridicule. While his noble audience dined drunkenly, he was mocked, tortured, and subjected to an obscene array of dangerous and decadent humiliations.
Well, that sucks, but that does answer how he became a Jester.
This is the backstory of a tragic bard.
Indeed. Indubitably. No one can be happy in Darkest Dungeon. Pull 1. That might change. This is how, when you do the shrines, it just tells you how it is normally. Not necessarily on your path. Pull 1.
You were playing Wanderer
pull
with the Jester,
1.
though.
Turn start, pull 1. What does that mean? Target, pull 1. Oh, it keeps them moving. So
if there's a target you want to pull into the front, you can always be pulling them every single turn, which actually is quite useful considering there's only a limited amount of people that we have that are able to target the back line.
We can't move people. We can move them forward. We can move them back, but we can't move them forward.
Well.
Yep, and that's the same. So that's pull 2, turn start, pull 2, 3 turns. So even if they move back, they keep going back. Which I can swap out for Battle Ballad. And I'm inclined to use the new ability, because it's a new ability. This gets rid of their damage. This is actually quite useful if Audrey ever ends in the back to pull them forward, but we'll try with the new ability first. It won't help us with the boss though. We could lose a wheel. Wheel gives us travel healing. I don't really want to lose a wheel, but we don't know what's in the middle here. But we have candles here. And I'm also inclined to get mastery points. So I think we go left.
I think we go left too.
Let's find out how
And
it
also-
moved over by random chance.
He's stressed. Actually, a few of them are stressed.
Yeah, they'll just passively gain stress too.
Is that the equivalent of when earlier you said they'll just bleed occasionally? I was just imagining them walking along. It's like, oh look, my arm's bleeding.
Sometimes they get abilities that you don't think about. Okay, so he wants to leave, which will lose us torch and get him stressed. He wants to fight. He also wants to leave. No, we fight.
Oh,
I rarely ever choose to leave.
you don't get the loot that way.
Exactly. They occupy 2 spaces, so Audrey can actually hit them. We potentially can actually get 2 people here getting bled. Their bleed resistance is 30 and 20, so that can happen. or we go forward and we set up a combo, which will then be taken advantage by our man-at-arms, but they won't have taken a turn yet, so healing won't have any value, it just heals nothing. Potentially we combo them, so then Audrey, yeah, this is what I think we do. We combo, hold on. Yeah. None of them are favoured, but these have less health than this guy, and we can just tank this guy if we need to. We have no way of setting that up yet, but we can potentially guard with Barristan with our man-at-arms. This would take out a combatant that we would have to deal with later. Or we fade to black, and we blind him. But that would put Audrey in a weird position.
I do think it'd be best to not put Audrey in the weird position currently. To just play to standard, play to Razor's Wit, and just play it slowly.
Yeah. Even if we do throw daggers, we could potentially get a crit and just completely decimate their health. But they have a death armor, so they won't die.
Even if he gets low on health, we can always have Barristan come back later, because he's got the death blow with his.
Yeah, but they've got 2 death armor, so we need to at least.
Oh,
get
we
rid
need
of
to
one of those
execute
death
2.
armors.
Got it.
Yeah, we need to execute 2, but if we got rid of a death armor, we could then do it, which actually would be better later on. So.
And actually, I think doesn't one of your characters want to kill the cadaver specifically?
Good point. Who wants to kill the cadavers? Both of them.
Cool.
So let's focus on this one first. Then we have our Audrey finish it
combo.
off. And that's one of their goals done. Well, one of part of their goal done. It gives us speed, means that we're more likely to go ahead next turn. No one's super stressed out from that, and they need to be +5 stress for that to work. We could defend, potentially defend our Jester, because he's now in the firing line.
I was going to bring it up because he went forwards. Yeah.
So yeah, that hits Mass and knocks him down.
We're completely fine with that. We want him to be lower on health. We want him to be below 75%.
This would knock him back, which would put him in a weirder position. We can check the enemy's attacks. They can still do stuff here. So if we push them back, they're less likely to do fell the tree, which can potentially give someone a disease. Did that give him a disease? No, it didn't.
Observe the subject
he can
carefully,
also protect people. He can also move himself forward and do bleed and stress. I'd rather avoid that, so I don't particularly want to push him back at the moment. So what I'm thinking, we could set up a combo, but we're still not taking damage. So I'm thinking of doing the taunt. Which they don't, because they couldn't attack anything else. So they have taken that damage, they're probably going to offset that damage. We now have fade to back, and we have pretty much no choice. So we combo them, we crit them, and we blind them.
Nice. Ooh, very nice. And you've also
might be a time to push them back.
Let us take a closer look.
Because Carve the Toy will be less likely to hit.
As repulsive as it is.
Also makes us easier to hit this guy.
Yep.
Okay, he didn't move, but that's fine.
He resisted it. Yeah. But he did get bliced.
Now he's going to guard. Do you go through guard? No, you don't.
The pickaxe, I think, ignores the guard. Or
this would remove that armor, and it would ignore the armor, and it would also be more likely to crit. So I think we do this.
62%, that's pretty good odds.
I think we don't
really have
a choice. Good crit.
Nice critical.
No one's combo, no one's set up to combo, which is fine. He's already guarding, he will... no, he's actually broken that guard, but we can't guard anyway, so that's fine. We're already taunting, we want him to hit that. No, he isn't, I lied, I was looking at the wrong one. He is still protecting him.
Could also remove some stress from the flagellant.
They need to be at 5.
Got it.
So we could hit to get some chip damage off, which isn't necessarily a bad idea. 4 to 6. +2. Yeah, we're not going to knock them down. So I'm thinking we just buff our friends.
Yeah, just guard them.
So that will just make sure they got more speed next turn. And they went for the Jester, because I guess they didn't have any choice. They should have attacked. I guess they get to choose which attack they do. So yeah, they had an attack that could hit them. But that's fine.
We are also still completely fine with Barristan getting a hit, so we do want him to get the health.
We hit that, we get combo. We can't really hit the back, so I think that's the best choice we have.
Razor's Wit, yeah, front line. Shuffle the initiative as well, or the pacement.
If we hit them and we hit them down from their health, they would then go and take enough damage to lose a death blow, which we can then finish off with Barristan.
You can do the 1 armor, ignore. Yeah, the execute.
Okay, that didn't do enough damage, but it will do enough damage due to Blight.
Blight.
But we can force it to happen, they lose another death armor. So that's a potential thing we can do. We can endure, so we can take the stress away from Barristan. Or we could potentially just heal Barristan back up to full for a little bit of damage on them.
I think we need the healing, because again, I think we're trying to maintain Barristan to be like 35 to 30 health. So I think for now it's probably just best to take out his death armor.
I agree, because we want to ideally do endure when they have 2 stress to just maximize it.
Yeah. There's your armor break.
Does mean Barristan can't hit them, but they're going to lose the death armor, so they're on 0 anyway. And there you go, they're blinded, paid off. Now Barristan can. He can hit that, heal everybody, and he also... Yeah, he'll just heal everyone.
And that's a gaunt instead of the cadaver, so you don't have to worry about missing out on the other bits.
So we want to ideally set up Audrey for this, which we can if we fade to back.
And then she can go for a dagger through crit for the kill.
Yep. So we're going to try and set that off by not attacking him, because that could potentially kill. This thrown dagger might not necessarily kill him, but the chances are better than not. And there's a golf complete. And now we need to keep in mind the Jester wants to do this from now on. We got a Tootie Horn.
No. Yes, it is a trinket.
Turn start, taunt, turn start, vulnerable when first in turn order. So as long as we don't give it to the first person in the turn order, we can't make sure that's the case, but it would mean they taunt all the time.
He's already got 2 trinkets.
Barristan, he has 2 trinkets, we'd have to move them around. We don't want it on them. We don't want it on them. Just because we don't want them to get hit. They're not the ones we want to get hit.
And his speed is
taunting
lower,
anyway, but that would increase his taunt time.
I think it'd be a good way for protecting. You can still protect even if he is vulnerable with Man at Arms. So I still think that would be best on the Flagellant.
I agree. So that's 1 goal complete. So our torch isn't down yet. I'm trying to remember why we wanted torch down. Was it for this?
It was for the item on Barristan.
Combat
on
potential. And then we have a combat on the road. We could never have predicted this. Cool. Or Davers, or are they Gaunts? They might be Gaunts, actually. Oh, they're Gaunts. Anyone can kill them.
Is the first one? No, the first one's still Gaunt as well. So
we hit one, I think. They have decided to taunt. We could take advantage of that and just do that.
Yeah, I would be saying more and more, and then get the dagger throw for Audrey.
Okay, that didn't kill, but that's okay. That happens. We can't hit them. Could potentially protect here.
Defend the Flagellant so they don't take any chip.
Yeah, but if they take more and more, they're going to heal some of the damage anyway. Just from getting hit, they then heal. And we can't want them to get hit to do that.
Is there any ability that the other... Is there any ability they have that could hit the Jester? Because would it be worth just defending the Jester on its own?
Potentially.
Through the taunt. Just to take a look.
No, none that can just hit the Jester.
What can we learn?
And I'd say just go for the buff.
Go
for the rally.
That would have to hit them.
Observe the subject carefully.
That would have to
We'll
hit our
discover
second.
its weaknesses.
So we don't
I think going
have
for
to
the bellow.
defend.
I think going for the bellow is completely fine.
Bellow does nothing because they're not stress +5, so they need 5 stress to do that. Oh, bellow. Sorry, not bolster.
Yeah,
You're
not
right.
bolster. Just give everyone a bit of a buff as a neutral turn.
Hold fast.
It's a good crit. That's fine. We can actually. I just realised we have a problem with our party, but I'll explain that in a minute.
Oh, I'm intrigued now.
It's actually something we can offset, but it's not the end of the world. Inspiring Tune has to be done here. Or here. But that's fine. We can back them off to then do that and just have her in pick to the face mode, which still takes advantage of the combos. So it's not the end of the world.
Just need to be focused on dancing around.
Yeah. They're going to potentially take a lot of stress, which we can offset, so that's 65% chance, not 75% chance. We're going to... I think we should fade to black to blind
Black in the front
them.
target, yeah.
We can't hit them anyway, because that hits them anyway.
Yeah, so...
And blinding them is a good
well.
idea. We potentially could take more stress on them. Their stress is already at 1, so we don't really want to do that. We could potentially heal Barristan, but we don't want to. They are weak, they're not going to do as much damage. We can potentially hit him back for Audrey to hit him. So I think Punish is the best thing to do here. It also could get some dot damage on him.
I was about to say, you could add the bite. Light proc.
This would not ignore that kind of armor. So we could hit that. Or we could do... Nope. We could potentially just hit this one with no combo.
Yeah.
I'd rather
think
take
it would be
advantage
better
of the
still go
combo
for the
that we
combo,
have.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we
No
didn't hit
crit
a
though. Completely fine. The blind isn't too much. He can just go into the heal turn next time.
Barristan. Could
I don't know if it's
potentially-
worth, yeah, defending.
I think it is.
Cool. Yeah, then I'd say defending and
They could potentially hit the back, but that's going to hit Barristan anyway.
and they're okay with Barristan taking damage because he likes to be low on health anyway.
They missed.
Nice.
That was because of the blind. Well, it wasn't necessarily because of the blind, but it felt like it. We can actually use Barristan now to relieve some stress on him, so we might do that. I think we try and hit to knock them back, get the combo set up.
And more blight.
We then take advantage of that combo whilst they continue to be
There's the
guarded.
crit.
It's annoying. We potentially set up another combo here, but we don't
I
necessarily
was
want
gonna say,
Barristan
do
to do that because we want him to de-stress him.
I'm
So I think
also
we'll
wondering if you just want to
harvest
go
the dots.
further. Would you want to go further back, one pace back, for the stress heal capability on the flagellant in the next turn for the jester?
No, because we know Barristan can do it.
Okay, cool.
So I think we do harvest, because then we can at least get some damage on
Damn
them
it.
and then some ticking
Yeah.
damage as well.
Big bleed.
It's unfortunate, but that's fine.
But he resisted both, so not a real problem. Eesh.
Okay.
That is a
We're
rough
going to
one.
use Bolster here to relieve some stress. Also armored him as well, so we might potentially want to
Yeah.
heal again. This would do guarantee, not guarantee, but close enough damage to get him to a death armor, which would then proc with the dots that he has. Also increases their
Oh,
bleed to 4. Does enough
Does
to do
he
2
bleed?
damage. We would hope for 3 on both instances.
Does bleed and blight do individual attacks at a death blow? So do you do 2 death blows if it does 2 different dots, or is it only ever 1 dot? Or 1
It
death
would
blow
only
to
ever be
all dots?
1 overall dot. They
I
do take
still
it
think it's
individually,
worth-
but it only counts as one attack, one instance.
Got it. I still think it's worth doing the harvest because you can get the dot to the back and you do break 1 armor no matter what.
So we got 4 damage
And
there. They
Barristan
haven't
can actually
quite
kill him
done
with
that.
death blow. because
Yes.
he's got the execution.
And we will. I mean, we could potentially take. Oh, we've got thrown daggers, so that does 3 to 5 damage. That'll be enough to
Both of them.
to both.
Kill both. And she gets to look all fancy.
Indeed.
The past is gone. Let it die.
Plus 20% flame resist, minus 10% blight resist. Kind of not useful in this particular time, but we should probably put it on. People could cause blight here. I think we leave it for now until we know we're going into a flame area, because I don't want the minus 10 to blight.
In a blight area.
Probably come up. Not everyone blights here, but not many people blight, but there are people that can blight, so...
And if it's more likely to blight than flame.
So we're getting down to flame, so we don't want to increase flame. So I'm intended to go for Barristons, which will actually reduce flame, bringing us closer. It also gives us 2 combat items. This would give us 1 combat item. They just don't want to get involved. But this would lower their relationship, which is, I believe, a little bit rocky. No, it's actually completely neutral, so I think we can afford this.
Yeah, then we go Barristan. I keep on seeing Barristan and thinking, yes, Barristan saw me from Game of Thrones. They hiss. Oh, wait.
They've got the same vibe with it as well, haven't they?
Yeah. Defender of the people.
Let's give a Toxic Ikel to them. It doesn't really matter who we use this on, but they can potentially get relationship boosted by using combat items. How dare you come into my chat and be a bot? Get shot. There we go. Anyway, yeah, they can potentially give relationship boosts to each other. There's a Hoarder that gives flames. There's a Shrine that gives flames. There's a Churgan's Table. Going to be really good for people that take dots. People that get affected by dots. Which is good when you know someone's going to get affected by a dot themselves. Which we kind of have with our Flagellant. So that would be fine. But only in the worst situation would that be happening. And that's a Trinket. Which we already kind of good with our Trinket and Flagellant.
I don't know how we're doing on currency for the store, but the Shrine of Reflection was interesting last time.
62, but we could potentially just wait until we get to the end.
I think then
This puts us at the
go
creature
to
den and lair fight. And they want to clear out a lair. I don't know if we
Shrine of Reflection
potentially
does.
can, but Shrine of Reflection could give us that answer. We lose a wheel. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. It just reduces the chance. Fuck! I moved out of the way of that thing.
Remember and reconcile.
a little stressed, but they're still looking okay.
They are okay overall, but it might be starting to push our Jester back. Flagellant or Grave Robber?
Grave Robber.
Chapter 3. Embarrassment of Riches. Years of decadence and financial mismanagement had left the estate in staggering debt. Humiliated and facing eviction, she wandered the empty halls, hurling inebriated indignities at the portrait of the deceased, whose hand had rested so possessively upon her shoulder. A gleam of gold on that painted paw reminded her that his rings were unaccounted for, and must have been buried with him.
And that's how she became a grave robber, because she killed her husband and then took his stuff. Forward. We don't want this.
I know we don't necessarily want it, but it could be good if we do need to juggle any stress healing, if we need a lot of rapid stress healing to be able to move her
Our Jester.
or to force the Jester back. I know it's probably more niche, but it is just something to keep in mind.
Apply on crit, not back 2. That's also quite good, because then she can move back to then take advantage on that. However, is that still the same? Yes, it is. We can't get invisible Ignores armor, ignores dodge when invisible. We can't get invisible because we might want to swap that. Unless we get rid of repartee, which we haven't used too much.
I think we don't need to do anything right now because there's not a big focus on stress currently. I think like the party as a whole isn't too stressed out, so there doesn't need to be a rapid response to stress. Oh, Kite just raided. Hi, Kite.
Oh, hi, Kite. I hope everything went well with your raid. I hope you've been making good choices. Thank you very much for the raid. I appreciate it. Let me try this shout out function and see if it actually works again.
This was a raid of the critically acclaimed MMORPG.
Let's try it this way then. You think you made okay choices at all? That's fine. I did the wrong thing again! Fuck me!
You did really well at this, Cass.
I'm trying my best. There we go. Oh, it's also brought me up as a raider because I was already in the chat.
Cass Morgause is raiding Cass Morgause's stream.
Sharpen your
Alright,
blade.
we are at the
We
creature's
may
den.
properly excise
We
our
obviously go for
portion.
combat. This actually builds up their relationship whilst reducing theirs, which isn't too bad. I'm glad you made okay choices though. I don't particularly have a preference on who goes, it does the same effect. Man aiming gun at himself meme. Indeed. Indubitably. Okay, we have no one wants to beat beasts.
Yes,
Not as we
the
usually do.
no, that's cadaver. It's creature / cadaver.
True.
So the
actually,
jester will want to kill one. If not.
that's true, but they have dodge, which we want to waste. And we have Audrey going next, so if we can take out these two, we can then have Jester focus on them.
Yeah.
It's a 50% chance to hit, so I'd
You can
rather
always
hit
do
one of these
the
two.
lead to the two targets as well.
Yeah, I could.
Just to get some good
Doesn't
damage
set
over
up
both
a
of them.
combo for Audrey though. It has a chance to put and make a combo. There's a 25% chance, but
No guarantee. Your call.
I'm gonna go for the guarantee.
Yeah, fair.
In most instances, I'll go for the guarantee.
Like you're saying, reduce RNG time and time again.
Yeah, that is really annoying.
And for your hubris, you take the crit.
Well, potentially we could have done the. Oh, they've moved.
Oh, that's not good.
Potentially we could have done the plead and have the combo and have it go off, but it's not guaranteed. So pushing you into a worse position doesn't really matter where you are. So they're already taunting, so we could take advantage of that.
Analysis is the natural.
I think if you can
prelude to action.
try to get rid of the dodge on the Nasher, just by going for a punish.
I think you're right,
The
and we
fiend's
actually hit them, which is
strength
good.
dwindles.
And they resisted both. Jeez. Very nice. I definitely think taking the opportunity to either stress heal or defend is probably best here.
I think stress heal then defend, because this also
Yeah.
gives them armor, so we can then use
Oh,
that armor
yeah.
again. And they're going for them, so
There we go.
that's great.
Good.
Yeah, they push themselves forward as well. We can fade to black to potentially take out a better one, or we can take one out. I'm more. Oh, it adds combo though.
I was about to
which
say
we
you can
then
combo
use
and
Embarrassing
stick,
to
can't
heal.
you?
So I think we hit this one to set up combo to get Barristan to heal.
Yeah. Yep.
Good crit. This
Ooh,
actually
nice
means
crit
Barristan
as well.
might kill. Perfect.
Very nice.
These guys are annoying as well. We want to deal with them first, because if they kill,
Yeah.
then they hit. I mean, we might just take advantage of them being at the front to do this. We either do repartee. They can move back into the original position, but that wastes a turn. We could waste it by getting rid of a dodge. Helps us,
50-50. You feel like coin flip? Oh. I think go for the coin flip, because even if you do hit the dodge, then you can still get the kill with the Jester to get his, what's it called, underway. Do you want to go for the taunt on the... Oh, no.
I was trying to get rid of the another dodge.
Ah, gotcha. He had 2 turns to dodge. I didn't realize.
Okay. Doing this hits that one and makes them start to bleed. If they die of bleed damage, the kill goes to the Jester. So...
And then you can also always look at potentially doing another bleed for getting the other one.
Yeah, we need to do a little bit of damage here. 4 to 7. 4 to 7 would be enough.
Yeah, go for it. Pick to the face.
There is a chance they could crit, but that's fine. I think we
You just want to go for a taunt here.
To heal.
Just stall it out. And you can bolster then with Barston. To make sure not much damage is taken.
They'll offset that healing. We don't want to hit them, we want to hit them. We can't, and bolster, yep, I agree. I mean, they didn't have enough stress, but that does give them armor, so that's fine. We can remove a corpse, potentially, gives them healing. Makes them invisible, means they can't hit them, means they're more likely to hit them. Also means
and it does also remove a corpse. If it also removes a corpse, then it would just be easier for cleanup for the Jester.
Yeah.
Can you hit 2 and 3? Or is it only the first 2 targets? With punish?
First and second. But this would push the corpse out of the way, making it easier for the Jester to hit.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it hit both targets. Oh, not just one of the 2. Cool. Then I think Jester has a good chance of trying to hit one.
50%.
They both have dodge 1, so it's going to be 50-50 no matter what. One has blight or bleed from him, so you could just always attack the first target in front.
Oh yeah, right.
So if he'll die anyway to his damage over time effect. Coin flip. Ow.
That's fine, actually, because it's offset.
Blow.
So that should have counted as a cadaver kill. It did.
He just needs to do 4 total.
Continue to try and make this happen. So
ultimately, is there a taunt effect going on at the moment? I don't think there is.
No. Their dodge is gone. They could potentially go first. So I will buff because they've got good speed. Okay. Jester goes next. We'll get rid of the corpse.
And they've got no dodge, so you can just death blow with the Jester.
So this is 3 to 6. It's 4 to 7. Doesn't really matter.
And they're on 2 health, it doesn't matter either way.
And then we just need to kill 2 more cadavers. We got the next round. Yeah, that's something to bear in mind as well, I forgot. But that will potentially move things around. We want to keep them towards the front. This only knocks them back. This knocks them back 2, which pushes them into there. We've got more dodging characters. There's no cadavers we need to worry about. Audrey needs to move.
A master stroke.
Okay, I was hoping they wouldn't move, so then we could use that combo, but it's okay.
Well, Audrey's still stealth. She can't be targeted, so we don't have to worry about her for the moment.
They're taunting. We might just defend.
Defend them, yeah.
Especially because they don't have that buff right now. I might use this opportunity to move Audrey.
And manually move, yeah. And we're back into position of where we want to be.
Then we can move forward and backwards.
Do we want to try and break down all of the dodges, or?
Large.
Yeah. I want to set up the big boys so we can kill them, but the spiders are annoying.
As long as Barston can still take the hits. Blight enemies, you say?
Set up more combos here and remove dodge potentially. Okay, we missed. They took some damage for some reason. I'm trying to figure out why.
I might want a little bit of healing.
Agony by accumulation.
Yeah, I think we hit them to get healing.
Yeah.
We're going to probably more them to taunt so they can get more damage. When they're low damage, the percentages will be better. So
Exhaustion takes hold.
comboed. Blind them would be nice. Remove that armor would also be nice, but also benefits the protection, but they're not comboed. I think we hit this one to blind them. They don't have that much health either, so... then we more here, so they can get healing, and they're already taunting anyway, we may as well take advantage of it. This gives our thrown dagger a chance. They're blinded, we probably don't want to deal with them. Hit this one, has armor, which is annoying. We could potentially thrown dagger, which hits both of them, doesn't take advantage of the combo, but removes the armor and the dodge. So it doesn't do damage. I think flashing daggers here. What do you think?
To go for both, yeah. And again, it removes the dodge on the secondary target and it might do a little bit to the first, so it's worth it.
Yeah, it removes one of the dodges because they've got two. Yeah. And we missed. So that didn't do any of that. It only removed the dodge. But that's how it be sometimes. Okay,
oh no, he's blighted.
Getting hit.
Yeah, he's going to need a heal and fast.
We will... 4 to 6, 2%.
Yeah, and you can combo, yeah. And you'll get the healing across everyone.
This one. Yeah. Okay, they're going to gain 10% at the end of the next turn. Times 3, so 30%. They're speedy. It sucks. They're already at the max now. Harvest potentially takes out this one, starts getting bleed damage on them.
On the second one, I think that's worthwhile.
Okay, that bleeds fine.
Bleed on both, very nice. And so he's death blow to bleed.
We can't pull him. Except for this.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, Echo is the pickaxe? No, you would have to move manually. I think it's worth just getting some chip damage on the first or third target, your call.
I will do it on the third because this can potentially knock them down if they crit.
Oh, because of the crit chance, yeah.
And they will take
crit chance.
A death blow. Okay, they will take a death blow anyway because they're going to take a blight. Alright, please be your turn so I can... we can potentially double the healing. This makes them stressed more, which isn't the end of the world. We don't want something that damages them. I
think ultimately getting some healing onto them is yeah.
Because they also take dot damage.
Yeah.
That's going to be fine. We don't have any combo set up, so we can't do any healing right now. This would
you could put bolster or no.
Bolster would get rid of their stress.
Yeah, to lower their stress a bit so they're not at cap.
In fact, this is the time that we need to start moving them backwards.
Yeah.
But we'll do that with the Jester. This would kill it. This would damage this. This, they die anyway.
I think it's worth doing the flashing daggers and just hitting the back line, the 3 and 4.
Straightforward and effective.
Resisted, good.
This as a attacker now anyway.
Yeah, I think it's made to black to move forward. Yep.
Now they can do stress healing if we get to that point. Audrey's going to take some damage, but that's fine. We're spreading our damage out. I think punish. We're unlikely to hit. 50% chance to hit. What's the alternative? There isn't really one.
I think you just hit the first target, but second will die to bleed anyway. So, coin flip it.
Unlucky. I'm tempted to defend them now.
Yeah, just so they don't go into death door.
Yeah, they're also taunting, so...
Nice.
We save that combo. This heals them. They have to hit them otherwise. But I think we save this combo for the healing.
Yeah, definitely. And just get the healing on her by default.
Yeah, this is going to make this guy more accessible as well.
Give everyone a little bit of chip healing. And he still went to Death's Door anyway.
Yeah. 4 to 8. Blind. Less likely to hit. This just prompts more attacks against them.
Which we don't want to do. He can't heal himself with that, I assume. Because he just takes damage.
It's healing. He takes damage to heal others. He does have a really good death blow chance. He has a 76% chance. I think we take the coin flip, try and hit them.
Yeah. We don't lose 2 coin flips in a row. Did they have a thorns on them? Because it seems every time they were getting affected by the first target, they were taking damage.
No.
The other creature. The enemy in the first slot. Carry on. Yeah.
Let us take a closer look
Yeah.
at the thing.
No, they don't.
Repulsive as it is.
Oh, that's odd. So I'm wondering what the damage is every time you take a hit.
I think we stress heal because they're about to go freak out.
Yeah. There's the 2 stress.
And here's our Jester.
Jester's fine. They'll make it through.
To go sooner. Yep, and that was our guard from our man-at-arms.
Oh, ads about to start.
I will pause if anything interesting happens. I think we fade to... Oh, this puts them at the back, which they need healing. I think we have to go forward.
But yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Good damage. He can execute now. So can she hit backline, 3rd target? Because he's only got one defense, so if she can hit thrown dagger on the back target, I know it might only be a little bit of chip damage.
Weakened as well, so she deals half damage, but if they crit, it's not the end of the world. Okay.
A little bit of chip. And we can get the execute. The heal.
And the execution. Okay. We potentially take Barristan's stress.
The stress.
We put it on him. But he's not going to have an opportunity to stress heal, though. We could potentially stress heal with Barristan.
Barristan, yeah, to go down 1 stress.
Okay, they're on 1. In the unlikely event we don't heal, this would blind them.
Yeah,
or
so then
we
they will
pass to heal.
Actually, I do think passing would be wiser here, just to get that little bit of extra health.
Dot damage anyway, pushing them to 0, but that would offset it.
Yeah, I think it's smarter just to offset because you're hopefully going to end the combat soon.
They take their dot damage at the start of their turn as well. Yeah, if we can kill it,
well, you can
we're gone.
fast enough, yeah. Which I think with the punish, yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Oh, they
no
just
need to heal things.
By killing something or something happening. They have become toxic, which is completely irrelevant now, but they did heal.
So what does becoming toxic mean?
Means when they get hit, they will do 1 damage to... They will do 1 blight damage per time they get hit. So, is that still in effect? I don't think so. It only lasts for the fight. Unfortunate timing, but that's what it is. Also means you don't need to worry about stress healing them. But don't worry, because we've got another combo, so...
I trust you have calculated your odds.
I also might call it a night here, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that's
I'm starting to feel myself winding down, so it is very late after all. So thank you very much for letting me join the stream.
No worries, of course, of course.
And
anytime.
I'll see you later, and you take care.
You too. Okay, so we're going to look to... I think we just dagger at the back here. Alternatively, we take some of the other damage. I think we repartee, because we're taking a lot of damage on everyone else, so we're going to repartee here to take taunts. I mean, the chances of us getting hit were low, but they're never 0. We're going to set up combo for next turn by hitting them. also like to do that with everyone else. We are going to defend them here. I actually should have moored there. Harvesting is not a bad idea. They're going to take 5. They're going to take 2 from this, so 7. Potentially for 2 to 4 damage. 7 plus 5, 7. 2 plus 5 is 7. Minus 12 minus 4 is 8. Okay, it's not enough. Welcome back from ads. Rogue has decided to call it a night. But we will carry on. I don't know how much longer we will last. Fade to black here would be good. Just to get the blindness off, because they're going to hit us next. Despite them bleeding, we are probably going to more with them on their turn. Pick to the face. Has to hit someone. I'd rather hit it on someone that can have guaranteed to get hit. They're already taunting, so we're just gonna hope. And they choose abilities that can only hit the back line.
To finish this quickly.
Okay, well that heals 10% healing at the end of their next turn. That means they go to 0, but then they will go back up. We do this to have them go forward. We have now set up a heal with Barristan, which we will do.
Perhaps they have given
Okay, that's
their lives.
fine. Actually, we need to heal them. We can't do anything about healing them. We have to hope. Yep, that was probably more likely to happen than not. This would kill them. This would kill them. So we pass to heal. Now they get massive healing. We're going to eventually have to do this. If we do hit, we want to blind them. So we're going to fade to black. They're now concerning of getting killed. We have Barristan going, which can take advantage of that combo. So we'll take out a corpse, make them invisible. And we will try and get the healing. And they missed. Unfortunate. We will pass to heal. We will now hit them. Just because we need them dead, there's going to be multiple chances of damage. I think we do repartee, so we can get the taunt on them to get more damage on them. I think we defend. I think we bolster here, just to remove the stress damage. I think as urgently as they need healing, they need stress healing. Of course. Why would we not get hit? They get hit. Potentially, there's not much point in healing everyone else, so we'll just hit them. We'll hit them, hope for the blight. That blight will kill them. And we're done for the turn. We want no fights for a bit.
What you can,
But we are going to a place
and be
that has a
off
lot of
once
fights.
more.
Sensible thing here is to not try and defeat this boss. I'm inclined to do that. But we do have a goal here to do so. What is this? Okay. Bleed resist. I think we do the first 2 stages. And I think if we are... I don't think we can defeat this lair boss with the current setup we have. So I think we do 2 stages.
Within every keep, a general and his loyal lumbering guard.
Let's set up invisibility here. I'm going to ignore this armor and just hit. we are going to take the aggro here, especially considering they get armoured. We're going to let them get hit. And I'm going to hit them for more damage. This is going to hurt. That's interesting. Yeah, they're going for other attacks that don't necessarily hit the front line. Which is fine. There we go. That will get rid of their armor. As much as this is a waste, because we have combo on that one. I think we need this one dead.
Early results are encouraging.
We do have some healing on them. And we have a concerned amount of death on them.
Of all.
They're also mega stressed. We also need them forward so then they can hit other people. So we're going to bring them forward. And then we are going to give them some healing.
Solidarity
at the cost of ourselves.
arrest this collapse.
But that did also proc their own healing, so it's not the end of the world. And it's 3:44 AM, so I should probably think about finishing up soon, but we could just go in a blaze of glory and try and defeat this boss. So we might just do that. We're going to have them go forward. I'd rather take advantage of Audrey's crit. I actually don't want to do any of these at all. We passed a heal. They're going to get mega stressed quickly. We hit them to heal. That's good. That's not good. We're going to hit both of these to get one death blow. We're going to tempt fate and do more and more. I'm going to fade to black here. Okay, I didn't want them to kill. But there's not much else we could do. We're going to have them defend them. Even though they're taunting and they take healing from that. They're now in a better position for them. They did a crit attack and they hit.
Simple variable.
Let's advance.
Resolved.
Good healing. Tempted to bring them back, but I think actually what we'll do is bring them forward. We're going to try and deal with the Mook. They currently have no one to hit, so I'm going to have them hit both.
Brilliant conclusion.
Just taking advantage of that much better crit that they have. We're going to hit this one in the hopes that they get pushed back and comboed. That's fine, we can still take advantage of that combo. We hit the front one here for the combo so we can heal people. We are going to get a stress attack. I'm surprised we didn't get it just then. We take advantage of this combo and we hit that one. We didn't get the crit because of the combo.
Incremental, but deadly.
We're going to have
all the
them
same.
fade to back, which then blinds them, also combos them. You're now taking damage. You take damage either way. I think we just try and see this out. I'm going to hit them further back even. For 12, that's fine. We hit them for healing for everyone. Doesn't offset the problem though, because they're still going to have healing next turn. Jesus. Resolute. Hit them for combo for healing. That brings them back up. We then go... They both have death armor. This one has death armor with likelihood of it going. But if we hit this one, we're weak anyway. We're going to take advantage of that. tempted to do pick to the face here. I think we will. They're now going to death's door again. We're going to take this one and hit them, get rid of an armor, have them go back. They're going to want to go forward, which they've just done. We are going to try and time it for Barristan, but we can't hit this one. Going backwards. This gets rid of a death armor, but doesn't get rid of their death, which is fine. Just means that Barristan's going to be a bit less useful in his ability. And they've just revived someone, which sucks. Big time. That's why we need to hit the one at the back quite urgently. I'd rather hit both of them. They're going to death's door again. They're going to take enough stress damage anyway. We need to move things forward.
At last,
oh, they just killed themselves.
Finally passed on.
Because they take damage every single time they hit. Uh-oh. We hit them. You know what? I've actually got an idea for a change in plan. I think we try and rush to the end to get the candles. They better not revive someone. We need something out of the way, so we're going to hit that. Then we're going to hit them. They're probably going to bring someone back up. Nope, they don't have the abilities enough yet. We're going to hit them. They're now comboed. And we killed them.
A petty hindrance.
And we will escape. Being one down. Okay, we might not survive this. We'll see. There's literally nothing we can do about it. And we lose our guaranteed armor. This has been unfortunate. I don't think this party comp is the end. I think we probably wanted a healer, a more reliable healer than Barristan. But we were hoping for lots of damage and then we wouldn't have to worry about that. It is what it is. I'm going to do this to taunt.
The slow suffering begins.
We want to hit the one for the back, which is going to be really annoying in our positioning. Have them guard them. They're now taunting as well, which is not good. Excuse me. And so we will pick them to try and get through that armor. I want to hit this back one because I want it dead. We're also possibly going to have a stress attack. They're going too fast. We want our speed up. We can kind of offset some of the things they're doing here. We really want to hit this one, but we just can't. So, because they're taunting as well, we're going to go forward. This is going to hurt. Yeah, they're also in a position where they've healed. We now have a stress attack. If this is a meltdown, yep. This is going to reduce their health massively, which is something we were relying upon. We are going to buff them. We're going to take advantage of this combo. Barristan, do enough damage. God damn it. That's fine though, we've set up another combo there. We can break their armor here. Because they haven't got a turn yet, we do actually manage to kill them.
Straightforward and effective.
Yeah, they're going to focus down Barristan now, which makes sense. I'll do the exact same thing in this position. We do have one upside, as we can ignore that armor they've got. We could pass to heal. That's 8. We're going to take 4 each turn. If they take 4 damage, it offsets it. But I think we need to pass.
There remains a foothold out of this mire. Now climb.
Okay, I'm actually going to fade to black so we can blind this one. So it makes it less likely to hit. And then we're going to take advantage of this by ignoring their armor and critting them. They heal 10 per turn, so it's not amazingly likely. Especially when they're critting and blocking themselves again. We want everyone to heal right now. This is useless. This isn't. This gives them strength. Considering we need to make sure we do enough damage to them, and we have no choice but to hit them, we shall do so. They're now at death's door. There's nothing we can do about that, but we will harvest. Just because of the bleed, and we didn't get the bleed on the right person. That sucks, but that's how it is. Okay, they're now on death's door. We don't want them to be on death's door. We're going to hit here. They're now on death's door. We don't want them to be on death's door, but there's nothing we can do about it. We heal the one at the front. Okay, now that somebody's died and there's more positioning, that's a better thing. Okay, we just lost our man-at-arms. We are dead. We are so dead. Oh, we're resolute. We're still so dead. We're going to hit into here, try and take that damage. We're not going to offset their healing, no matter how much we try. I want to forward into them so we can combo them, so we can start doing some damage to them. They're attacking a corpse because they don't care.
Another blow on the bruise.
Now we're going to get 2 death's doors in 1 turn. Repartee might be worth it. But I really need to offset that damage. But by doing that, I need to kill them. Okay, we are dead. Only thing I can think to do is repartee because it just increases our crit chance. So we're going to do so. Also increases our dodges, which we've now lost. We can break through that armor, but not as long as they continue to do that. We want to hit them.
Once again,
they're now on death's door.
Terrible precipice.
There you go. I mean, there's a potential of winning, no matter how unlikely it is. We just don't simply have the positioning for it, though. We would have to do more than 10 damage per turn, every turn. Which we're not doing.
Fight through the fatigue.
So at this point, we are waiting to die. Because we can't hit them. And we can't move, because there's nothing to move back to. Empty slots do not count. I think they should do. I think you should still be able to move even if it's empty. And she rolled resolute again, so I guess we keep going. Which just means that she's going to get even more death blow resistance. Her death blow resistance is 80, they need to roll the 20% chance. Or they need to keep stressing her out until she has a meltdown. Okay, good start. We need to do that. several more times. And we're going to hit into again. Continue to take more damage. They need to just roll their 20%. We are chipping at them. Now if they regenerate them... They haven't done that yet. They're still not rolling that chance. It's slowly lowering. It's now 50% chance. Okay, they've stopped trying to get them in the regeneration. Yeah, that attack reduces death blow resist as well. Yeah, eventually it was going to be a meltdown, which makes it even more death blow resist, and they die from their bleeding.
For the rich and poor alike.
But we do take our candles,
And experience.
so we can try that for the next one. I think that build wasn't too bad. Like I said, we just needed a healer at the back. In retrospect, Vestal would have been a better choice. But it is what it is.